Well, well, look who wandered in wearing a halo they don't even know they're carrying. Angel. Somebody out there is watching you right now, in this exact tick of the clock, and thinking about you in a way that'd fold your whole chest in half if the news ever reached you. They think you're one of the good ones, a genuine no refunds, AA batteries included good one. Not as a bit, not as a throwaway line. They looked at you, at the way you drift through this circus, at the sheer nerve of you simply existing, and something in them cracked wide open with this quiet, church mouse certainty. And here's the twist, sweetheart. This one, not exactly local, and you're about to feel a thing you filed away a long, long time ago. So stay with me. Don't scroll off. This one lands close to home. You know that feeling. The one that's slippery, the one you can't quite put into a sentence, like somebody's got you rent-free upstairs, like the back of your neck goes warm for no reason at all. Or you think of a random face at 2 a.m. on a nothing little Tuesday, and it makes zero sense because they had nothing to do with your Wednesday. Not nothing, darling. That is not your imagination sprinting off the leash. What you've been picking up is a signal, coming in loud, coming in clear, because it's that strong. Because this person thinks about you with the kind of steadiness most folks save for the stuff they keep behind glass. And you're behind the glass, yeah. You. Precious cargo? Let me tell you a little something about them, and I want you to actually let it land, let it in. No skimming, no, oh, that's probably not about me. Quit ducking and just let it hit the floor. This person has watched you, not in a creepy, curtains-twitching way. In the way you'd stare at a magic trick you already know is fake and still can't figure out how they pulled it off. You keep muttering, that can't be real. Nobody's hands move that fast. That's the energy this one runs on when it comes to you. There's a quality you've got. And listen, you already kind of know. You know exactly what it is. It's the thing people blurt out when they slip up and get honest with you by accident. The thing your inner circle says when they're not even trying to flatter you. They're just reading the label off the tin. Reading the label off the tin, and this person clocked that quality so sharp, so fast, it damn near spooked them at the start. Because how do you process a whole you? How do you hold that in a regular little life without it rewiring the whole house? Here's what I'm feeling, and I'm feeling it real specific. This isn't somebody in your front row. Or if they are, they're up in the nosebleeds. Not your ride or die, not your day ones, but somebody just off to the side. Somebody who catches you in passing, in glimpses, or maybe through whatever you toss out into the world. And they've been building a whole portrait of you out of every tiny scrap they've collected. The way you handled something ugly without making a scene of it. The way you said the kind thing when nobody was checking. The way you rolled in somewhere and the whole room's thermostat just quietly shifted, and you probably missed it. They didn't. They catch everything about you, every single time. Eagle-eyed, that one. You want the truth? It's not in what we were just saying. Most people rot. Anomalies evolve. Which are you? Find your answers in my book. Grab it from the description or pinned comment of this video. Anyway, back to the madness. And here's where it gets spicy. Because this is the part I want you to marinate in. This person hasn't told you, not a peep. And the reason, and I need you to really hear this, it's the whole con. is not because they don't rate you. It's the flat opposite. They've stayed quiet because you feel almost too real to touch, like you're something they could fumble by lunging in too hot. They're cradling how they feel about you like it's tiny and gigantic at the same time, like a lit match in a windstorm. One wrong breath, and the whole thing's gone, and what's burning there is too pretty to risk. That's what your little existence has done to somebody. You made a person careful. You made a person want to be worth it before they even knock. You get how rare that is? That's not an everyday miracle, love. Let me paint you a scene and this person actually lived, because I'm feeling it crystal clear right now. Somewhere. Could be a coffee line, could be a stairwell, could be a parking lot under a buzzing light. They caught you doing something painfully ordinary. Nothing happened. Maybe you scooped up something somebody dropped, or you laughed in a way that was totally off guard, no armor on, or you just glanced up at the exact right second, and there was something in your eyes, so present, so wide awake, so undisguised, that this person felt it land right behind the ribs. Actual pressure. And they thought, and I'd bet the house these were close to the words rattling around their skull, who is this? Who actually is this? Because something new is happening here. Something I've never run into before. They saw you as a comet. The kind of streak across the sky you only catch once and spend the rest of your life squinting for. And they went home that night and you were the last thought before the lights went out. Not in a pining way, in a wondering way, in a how does a thing like this even exist way, like a kid who just found out lightning can strike the same spot twice and can't stop turning it over, even while they're doing something completely unrelated. That's the drawer you got filed in for this person. You're a puzzle they never quite cracked. And they've quit trying to crack it. No, they just feel it. Now I want to poke at something that might sting a touch. In the best, softest way, because I think you need it. You've been walking around with this particular way of being that somebody, maybe the world, maybe your own inner critic, told you was too much, or not enough, or somehow out of tune with what the room wanted from you. So you shrank a little. You turned the dial down on certain parts of yourself because somewhere along the line you decided it was neater, tidier, easier to swallow. But here's the punchline you keep missing. This person sees exactly what you've been muffling, and they're absolutely gone for even the muffled version. They're getting you at, what, 60%, and they think you hung the moon. Now imagine, just imagine, what they'd do if you flipped the whole switch, full wattage, no dimmer. You've got something in you. You've got something in you. And again, I think you already know the thing I'm circling. That doesn't come from reps or grind or discipline. You didn't build it. It's just there. Always been there. It's that thing where you step into a space and something just settles. Not because you spoke, not because you did a single thing, but because your particular signal walked in, and the room quietly rearranged the furniture. You've caught it in little flickers and then talked yourself right out of catching it. But this person, this secret admirer, the one who's got you pegged as one of the good ones wearing a people costume, they've clocked it every single time. Been keeping receipts. They carry these little moments around the way some folks carry a lucky coin, rubbing it smooth. You're not some flower that clawed its way up out of the dirt. Nah, you're a lightning bug in a jar full of dead iPhone batteries, the only thing in the room still throwing off a glow. You float above the muck, untouched by its shadows, kicking off a light so bright it feels like the ceiling's grinning back at us. You're a spark that refuses to go out, a soul that doesn't just take up space, it lights up everything it drifts near. Now, in the old spiritual playbook, that little glow, yeah, it stands for the top shelf of the soul's whole journey. When I say one of the good ones in disguise, what I'm really saying is your signal stays clean and dry while everybody else is out here soaked to the bone. It means that, stuck in a world that runs on static, you kept your frequency crystal clear. Your secret admirer isn't just into you. They're spellbound by how clean you run. They see you as living proof the good stuff didn't get discontinued. You carry yourself with the ease of that one steady flame in a drafty room, calm, planted, and dead real. Your signal runs so high that you naturally float over the heavy stuff without so much as flinching. They're mesmerized by you, by how you stay this untouched, this unsmudged, while the whole world's slinging mud. To this person, you're the tender, the soft-hearted, the fierce thing in full bloom. You've got this warm little ring of light on you, like the last coal in the fire that just won't quit. They see you as a package that showed up with no return address, proof the beautiful stuff is still in circulation, and that alone is enough to slow their pulse right down. You don't even have to open your mouth to fix the room. They call your heart see-through, clean and cool as the first sip of water after a long, dry stretch. You're not just a person to them. You're a whole experience. They've been putting in orders to the universe for somebody exactly like you, and they can't believe the package finally shipped. You've got a magnetic quiet that reels people in, this secret admirer most of all. They see you as loud without apologizing for it. You shine, and you don't even fill out the permission slip first. To them, your kindness isn't a personality trait. It's a low-key superpower. You're the eye of the storm, a steady weight dressed up like something delicate. They're in awe of how you carry yourself. The kind of thing no amount of money buys and no dictionary can define. And I'm a little lost for words myself. That's the tell. You're a wish somebody spent a long time making that finally got answered. For somebody special. Somebody's out there thinking, how'd I luck into sharing a timeline with this one? Your soul's got this glow that makes you pop in any crowd without lifting a finger. You're the whole thing, wide open, a soul that hit its peak, and it's a straight-up jaw-dropper to watch. Yeah. Here's the part I want you to sit in, because I think this is the one that hits hardest. This person is about to make a move. Something's shifting for them right now, this second. The quiet's about to break, not loud, probably not a whole production, but it's coming. There's been this build and build and build of something they've been keeping locked in a drawer, and it's hitting the point where keeping it locked away stops feeling honest. They're sick of you not knowing. It's starting to feel almost wrong that you don't know how they see you. Like the whole universe is running a couple degrees off-center because you're missing this one file. And so something's coming. A message, a move, a gesture. Something's going to land from a direction you might not clock. And when it does, I want you ready to catch it. Don't swat it away. Let it be as big as it actually is, because you've got a habit. And I say this with a whole lot of no-cap gentleness. You've got this habit of shrinking things down so they're easier to hold. Don't you dare do that with this one. Let this one show up full size. Because what's really going on here is bigger than someone's got a crush. What this person is holding up to you like a mirror is a truth about yourself you've been struggling to get at from the inside. Sometimes we need somebody standing outside to see you clean before you can see yourself clean. Not because you're broken or dense, but because you're too close to your own story. You're stuck inside it. And this person isn't in your story. They're watching it from a loving little distance, and what they're seeing is so good it rewired them. Your existence rewired somebody, rearranged the whole way they think about what a person can even be. Let me tell you about a morning. Yeah, and I've got a hunch some flavor of this'll ring a bell. You wake up and there's this 30-second window before your brain fully boots up, where you feel something humming under the floorboards of everything. Like a frequency, or a warmth, or a kind of knowing. And then the day cranks on, and you shove it down, or it gets buried under errands and to-do lists, and the endless racket of just being alive. But this morning, you're parked in that window, and the hum's a little louder than usual, a little harder to wave off. And you can't say why, but there's something in it that feels like being known, like somebody, somewhere, is holding one specific thought of you. And it's soft, and it's true. That's not random, love. That's not just your nervous system doing its weird little jitter. There's a real signal reaching you from a real person carrying a real feeling. And that feeling's got your name stamped on it. And it's nothing but gorgeous. Yeah, real gorgeous. You know what runs through their head when they think about you? They think about the way you handle things that'd send other people into a full tailspin. That specific grade of grace you've got under pressure. Not the fake kind, not the pretending it's fine kind. The real thing, staying rooted while the floor's sliding out. And they find it breathtaking. They find it almost, otherworldly. Which is exactly why, and I keep circling back, because it's the whole marquee, the whole gag. They genuinely, secretly, no irony, no exaggeration, think you're one of the good ones wearing a disguise. Yeah, they think the human wrapping paper's real but also kind of beside the point. Like the soul rattling around inside that wrapping runs on a completely different current than most people they've bumped into. And they feel lucky, genuinely, privately, quietly, lucky just to be clocking in on the same shift as you. There's one more thing going on here I think you need, and it plugs into something way bigger than this one person. The fact that somebody sees you this way, this deep, this reverent, this laser-locked. That's not an accident. That grade of seeing doesn't just land on anybody. It lands on people who are actually running at a certain level, even when they can't feel it from the inside. The universe doesn't ship this quality of recognition to folks who aren't ready for it, or who aren't hauling around something worth recognizing. So what this person feels when they look at you is real, and it's a reflection bouncing off something that is actually, genuinely, no cap there. You didn't daydream your way into being somebody's good one. You just showed up as yourself. And yourself turned out to be enough to rewire how a whole person understands what people can even be. And I want to hit pause here, because I know some slice of you, maybe a sliver, maybe a big, fat chunk, is doing that thing where you're listening to this and there's the warmth, sure, but there's also this little gremlin voice going, yeah, but does this really apply to me? I wonder if I'm even the one this is for. And I want to tell you, the fact that you're still here, the fact that this found you, the fact that something in you said yes when it kicked off, that's not nothing. That's a data point. Pay attention to that feeling right now in your chest, right here. That exact cocktail of warm and something almost like recognition, like you're hearing something true about yourself. Let that be its own receipt, because, well, here's what I actually want you carrying out the door. And this is the real message under the message. Not just that there's somebody out there who sees you this way. Though there absolutely is. But what that means for how you carry yourself from here on out. This person is about to step up, and when they do, they're going to see something or do something that makes you feel seen in a way you haven't felt in a real long time. Maybe even the exact way it's about to feel. And what that moment's going to ask of you isn't a performance, and it isn't perfect, and it isn't having the flawless comeback loaded in the chamber. What it's going to ask is just you being exactly what you already are, which is apparently somebody's good one, somebody's proof that the good stuff and the beautiful stuff and the flat-out extraordinary stuff still exist in this world and walk around in plain, boring clothes. They're about to tell you, yeah. And when they do, the tears that show up, yeah. And they might show up, yeah. That's okay. That's actually gorgeous. Those will be the good kind, the overwhelmed kind, the I didn't know I needed to hear this kind. You've been quietly, steadily, almost invisibly extraordinary. And the love that's about to sniff you out isn't going to ask you to be anything else. It won't need you louder or softer or more this or less that. It's going to show up specifically for the version of you that already exists. The one who sometimes wonders if they're too much or somehow not enough. The one who lugs all of it around without making it anybody else's headache. The one who walks in and flips the room's mood without even clocking it. That person, you, is somebody's answered wish. That person is somebody's reason to buy back into the idea that the world still got things worth buying into. You're already that. You're already the good one. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to grow into it. You already are it, and they already know. The only one in this whole equation still out of the loop is you. That's changing now. Yeah, that's changing now. And grab your book from the description or pinned comment of this video.